I'm going to play with something called flags and cutters in the Maxwell renderer, and I'm using something called the fire renderer in Maxwell, which is this window here, which is a very fast way of previewing things. On the left I have a softbox. In front of the softbox I have basically a cutter, which is like an opaque rectangle made of dark black material, and in front of that is a mannequin, and there's a wall and a floor. So the cutter is so close to the, or flag I guess, I think it would be called a cutter because of the way it's being used, is so close to this softbox that it's casting a very soft shadow. And you don't really even notice the difference, but if you look at the face of the mannequin, you can see that she's relatively dim from her waist up to the top of her head. If I take this flag and I shove it away from the light, like way off to one side, you can see the effect that it has on the face of the mannequin is that it got quite bright. So the cutter kind of has the effect of being a little bit like a volume switch on brightness, and you can kind of dim hotspots in that way. Now if I bring the cutter quite close to the mannequin, in fact so close that it's passing through the face, and I'm going to back off a bit, you can see that it casts quite a distinct shadow on the mannequin. I'm going to lift, I'm going to go a little bit further away and a little bit further up, and you can see that it's casting a distinct shadow on the head of the mannequin. If we bring this around like this, so it's quite a distinct effect, and that's because the cutter is close to the mannequin. If we get quite close there, and you can see that it's really blocking a lot of light. Now again, if you come further away, then you get that soft shadow effect again, and it just sort of becomes a dimmer in front of the light. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly what it's doing. Now there's another interesting thing that you can do, and that is, let's say you've got a wider cutter that's like this, so it's quite dim with regard to how it treats the mannequin. What you can do is you can rotate this cutter in this direction like this, so that it's either broadside to the light or edge on to the light. When it's broadside to the light, you can see it has a dramatically dark effect like that, and when it is edge on to the light, you can see that it's hardly noticeable, and you have a continuous degree of sort of ability to finesse that light cutting ability just by rotating the cutter within the softbox.